There we go. I wondered if that next song was going to come in at all. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's Monday. We are ready for another wonderful week here. Working on all kinds of stuff. So, we've got lots going on, lots to work on, lots to do. A lot of upgrades and updates of stuff that we've been doing here to do for our stream, actually for all of our social media stuff today. So kind of the plan for the next couple days is to start shifting a lot of this over into our book 3 promotion stuff. So starting to get more and more things going. Thursday will be our official day that we are going to let everybody know when the release day for book number 3 is. We already know it's going to be in July, but we're going to give out the date on Thursday so everybody can plan out for it. And we're going to talk about a few of the things that are going to be going on with it, and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to work on a lot of that stuff today. We got social media video to update. We've got our weekly stream post, pictures and stuff like that. We've got that to update. Got a bunch of different things. I have to find the book promo file and stuff too, and all of that fun stuff. So lots of things to work on this week. So that's what we're going to do. We're trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit here. So that's the plan. Let's see. Where is... Let me check some secret folders real quick. We don't care about the recents. Man, I liked Canva better when the home folder actually just listed everything in order of recent rather than whatever this update is that they did where they added some weird stuff to it. So I'm looking for something that's not here. I don't know where to find that. Because it wouldn't be... Their stream schedule, that's fine, but we can update that as well. We changed from this, we're no longer doing it that way. Which one am I looking for? I'm looking for... Where's the shrink plastic ones? Yeah, these are so horribly out of order. Stream schedule. There was one that was a promotional... There it is. Book 1 promo. Yeah, that one. We're going to need to update that. That was the old live stream graphic. Okay, I think that's all the things. Projects back over here. It's that one. Okay, so we got lots of stuff to play with and mess with today and change up. This one is going to be, we've got some stuff to change in here, but we've got some promo stuff to change out for, and some photos I need to set up and do for book 3 as well. So we've got some stuff to do, but first we're going to rebuild some stuff in Canva today. I had set up this is kind of like a happenstance animation that I had come up with, where a lot of these parts are well, I guess I'll preface this. I'm currently working in the free version of Canva. I don't have the pro version or anything like that, so everything that you see is all built with the free assets and the free abilities and stuff like that. So a lot of these setups and stuff like that have animations on them. Also, I did switch over to the dark theme because I like just trying it out, see if it doesn't blind my eyes as badly as normally the white one does. But combining a lot of these and getting the timings for them all, so you can see like our little timeline down here, getting the timings for them all just right. Some of them a little bit longer, some of them a little bit shorter, depending on how they enter and exit each of these during this scene here. So, but we've got our little button in the background spinning. We've got some shadows that come in. And then we have our little mini animation here of our character putting his hand over the edge of the sign, which is just a swap from character coming up and then a new set of hands starting right there. You can see in our little timeline down here at the bottom. Woo, too far. Right there, that's where the little change happens. But simple little setups here. Kind of a cool little animation logo, animated logo style thing. But I think we are, since last week we changed up our squares. So for book 2 we had diamonds in the background. For book 3 we have squares, and last week we introduced the squares to our social media posts and our updates. So our universe, our Stitch Tales extended universe is evolving again. So, but we've got, I did a little bit of playing. I added this Stitch Tales part of this logo here. I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. We'll see for book 3. But I want to change out, I want to change out all the things. So if you see, if on our end screen here, I've already changed out the diamonds for squares here, and I also updated our character because he's a little bit older. So got a couple things to work on here. But I have to decide whether or not, why is there still a hand there? Oh, there's 2 sets of hands. I have to decide whether or not I'm keeping part of this or reformatting it altogether again. So I swapped out the bottom here. We do have our box. We could put that in instead. Okay. Got our circles. could use this. What if we made everything come out of the box for this? We'll drop that there. Position, there's that there. I think I want to get rid of the button this time. Okay, so we don't have. I may have to make one of him looking up because I would like to have. Let's see, title. I think we need. The title has to stay on top, otherwise it's not going to animate correctly. So part of the struggle with this is that I know on certain platforms, Instagram especially, give me a square. So even though the format for the videos is in this shape, right? This vertical shape, this rectangle vertical shape. The problem is that they still rely heavily on a lot of the content being centered in the middle in this square. So we can have elements outside of that square, but you basically want the main bulk of whatever it is that you are putting together to be in that center. So that's the tricky part, is trying to get it to fit and work in that. Let's just make that 50 and put it all the way in the back. Okay, so now we know where the extremes are that we can fit this into. Oops, selected the wrong thing. That's the one we want. Animate. I don't want anything this crazy. It's something. Probably have to do the baseline. We're gonna have to give him hands too at some point here. I want the 14 to be here. So let's pick. We don't want black, we want something like that. Same thing, we want that to be that color so it kind of blends in with the box a little bit here. And then can we find a font that is kind of handwritten? Deco. Deco's not too bad. Clay pen's fine. No. No. I was just thinking to myself, oh, I could just make one on, I can write it myself. And I was like, oh, wait, no, don't do that because then I'll have to write every single one of them instead of just being able to type them. Finger paint, no. I think the ones at the top are probably my best bet here. That's not too bad. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, just a little bit. Schmuck? No. Ooh, that one's not too bad. It's got a little runniness to it though, like it's done with paint markers. I want more like written with a Sharpie. You know what I forgot to do? Go live. Twitch.tv/Tahoe anime. Type it in. There we go. We're going to be live until 12. There we go. Go live. On Blue Sky, you have to manually enter in your Twitch account or your streaming account. And then you can, it basically makes your account an active link. So if anybody is interested in coming by and checking out your streams, they can do that. They can just have to click on your name. Ooh, Bell, that's not bad at all. Very simple. I like this one too. think school bell might be it. More sugar. Ooh. I think that's it. I think that's the one. Okay. Let's drop this to like 10. Oh, I don't want middle ones. What's under? There we go. Let's go. Here's our friend here. Is that centered? No, that's centered. Center. Sometimes I think about this stuff and I'm like, do I want to keep using, like, I can reorientate a lot of the same elements, right? But do I want to reuse the same ones over and over and over again? Or do I want to change them up a little bit? That's always the question. Gotta make it like a meaningful upgrade or change in some ways. I mean, it's interesting. It would definitely catch your eye. Ooh. Especially the spinny. Okay, let's not do any of that. I think the baseline is still my best. I don't know if that's gonna be good. Definitely like flops it over. So when I did the other, I might have to do something similar here. Yeah, let's try it. Duplicate. We will do 180. This is where I try to get fancy with this stuff. Let's put this behind this. It's gonna go over here. Okay, animate. Baseline. Only on enter. Wait, is that go? Why is that go? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Baseline's supposed to move from the bottom up. Wait, why is it doing it backwards? Oh, because I have it upside down. I just realized. That's why. Oh, that's funny. So orientation doesn't change with that. Okay. Good to know. So I think I can fix that real quick. Doot, doot. Okay. Those there. Okay, so now if I animate this, it should... There we go. So, position, those should go below here, which should also go below here. Should end... right there. See our little hand flop there? Bloop. Should go by pretty quick here. We might not even need the animation for this. It just might be... just on enter. Okay, so we got a little bit of a time delay here. Something's up with it. So we get the rise. Whoop. Should be able to swap it over right there. Okay, so where are the other hands? The other hands are here. They can go below this. There we go. This, my friend, animate. Let's do this. This. Duplicate it. Take it to the end. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where are you going? Okay, so we want this to swap here. We just want this on exit. Yes. Both. Let's make sure we reverse this and then we'll switch it to on exit. Okay, there we go. We should be able to take the position, put that there. All about them layers. Boop. Let's see. That's 8 seconds long right now. Sometimes it's longer based on what I build for it. Okay, let's see what this looks like all together. Okay. Let's bring this in sooner. No, let's animate that out. Reverse on exit. Okay. I'm having a problem with this little pause here. Think it needs to be shorter. Thought about making him wave a little bit too. Be another thing I could do. Okay, cool. That works. Let's see. We want you behind this stuff. I want to make sure that there's enough room for the title. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's open up week 13 real quick. Range. Okay, that is centered. That is also centered. Huzzah. Let's do... Let's do there. Let's take the animation off of... Oh no, because there's a typewriter one. Wasn't there... Isn't there a writing one? Block? No. No. The burst is okay. Skate isn't... That's a no. One of those. It's not a stomp. I don't want that one. If anything, I like the burst more than anything. But I think I want to get rid of the animation for this one. Remove. Just keep that there the whole time. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. We're definitely getting somewhere, I think. Let's drop... Zero on that. Deto. think this has an animation on it. Does, okay. Let's make sure these two things fade out before the end of our... Okay, so what animation does that have on it? It's a burst. I think it's just on enter that I want it. The exit just doesn't do much for me. Position, this one. Try that. Hey, thank you, Bishak, for petting the assistant. He's up in his little spot right here. He's just hanging out. Just doing his thing. Being an old man, trying the best he can to live each day with the little bits of struggles that he has. Kind of like the rest of us. I think I want this to start. Okay, yeah. Let's move that. Which means we need to move these two. Right there. Let's make this a little bit shorter. Don't want his little hands to be sticking up there for too long. You know what? Let's... Starts to move there. That's when we do the flop. Let's move it back just a tiny bit more. Man, it happens so fast. You know what I think I want to do? Oh, I think I want to move that fort. No, because that wouldn't be in the square then. I dropped it down. to the bottom section. Will that work? When I post these, do I post the number? Yes, I do. So that one would be fine. Let's look at threads. Let's see what that one looks like. That one we get the full thing, so that one would be fine. If I look at, I think that was the same location as the last one, just about. Did change it a little bit. Let's see. I can find out by doing this. Okay, yeah, we're a little bit higher than we were before. But I think when you're checking out stuff on, oops. Okay, so they've totally moved away from squares, which is good. How's it going today, Bishak? How you doing? Hopefully everything's going well with you. Hopefully you're having a good day. Good Monday. But they've moved away from, so we have a little bit more room. Okay, so are there any of them that are square anymore? Where else could I double check? Let me look here. Nope, that doesn't matter. Oh no, that one does matter. Wrong server. Content. Nope. Okay, so it shows the full thing there. So the last place to look would be Facebook to make sure those always come through. The story shows the whole thing. That's a little bit more squarish. Yeah, unfortunately, where the 14 is, it's got to stay there. That's fine. I was debating whether or not to move it down to this big blank spot down here, but I don't think it's going to work down there. It will be out of our purview, unfortunately. Okay, so we've got this new background set up here. I wonder, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 of these pre-made, ready to go. wonder if I should change them out each week. Let's see. Just for schnitz and googles. So the next one would be like a pinkish one. I try to change out every time I change the title on one of these videos. I always try to give it a different color for the little drop down here. But if I'm gonna change, I'm gonna change background colors, I technically don't need to change this anymore then. There we go. Position should be centered now. How's that one centered? There we go. I got it fixed that time. All right, people, we are coming up on our first ad break here in about 48 seconds. So let's, you know, our assistant just left us. It's not there, but maybe he'll be back. So we'll leave it there for now. He might go hang out on his heater vent here shortly. If that's the case, we'll swap over the cameras and find him doing some other stuff. So, but yeah, we'll pause right here for the moment. I'll get some more of my ideas together, figure out what it is I want to do. If I want to do a little waving animation of some sort for our character, and then we will come back after our break and keep going from there. So stick around. We'll be right back. Yeah. All right. Yeah, our assistant was changed positions. He does a lot of like going between getting water and being up in his top little tower bed and down here by the heater. Or sometimes he gets where the heater sometimes kicks on. It was cold last week, so it thank you, Dreamer, for putting your points in for our assistant patch there. It was cold, so the heater was kicking on a whole bunch more last week, but not so much right now. So he's just hanging out waiting. But one of the things I did want to do before we head back over to continue work on our project is I wanted to give an update on some of the stuff that we had worked on a few weeks ago. Our printmaking, our lino block, and our bags that we were trying to print and get made and do some hand printing and stuff like that here. So we did go through on one of our streams, and you guys got to see the process of actually like inking up the block, trying to get it to print, and stuff like that, and with mixed success, not very good success for our first couple prints. So let me go ahead and I'll pop over to our other cam for the moment, and then we'll talk about this stuff real quick. Okay, so this was our first attempt to get our bags printed. You can see definitely very light on the printing. Didn't get all of the details that I wanted, not as strong with the color. It's a first print, it makes sense. It's not always going to be very good. Those are our experiments down here. This is like a stamp block stamp that I have, that just to see what the difference is, what kind of details we can get out of it, if it'll hold. So like this was our first experimental one that we did on stream. Just getting it set up. You can definitely see like there's a bunch of little issues out here in the middle where I had to go back through and cut down the block to get rid of those high spots and stuff like that. So definitely worked on that. Thought that was a napkin at first. No, it's not a napkin. This is the bag. So then we went on, I did a second print of it, and you can see it got a little bit better, a little bit darker, but still a little bit of problems. The ink is just not transferring the way I wanted it to. A little bit of a smudge there. Not a lot of ink on this character's face or anything like that. It just wasn't holding very well. You can definitely see. So third attempt at it, you can see I got a lot more pressure put on the outside of the print. Much better, darker lines around the outside frames, a little bit there, but still some really light spots out in the middle. Just, it's not eating the ink very well. Yeah, third print was definitely better. You can see like we're still missing a bunch of areas and stuff like that. We've lost a bunch of the detail, still some smudges and problems, different areas, but fairly clean, right? Like pretty nice here, not too bad. Not a bad test for that one. Still can't get it the way I wanted it to though. So in the meantime, I'm doing a few prints on paper. So this is one of them, but you can see like even though we got fairly good blacks set up on this print that came out, still a lot of areas where this block is just not holding ink at all. It's just not wanting to either let go of the ink or just not accept any ink, and therefore the transfer is just having these weird spots where it's just eating away and not doing what we want it to do. So that led on to like I grabbed another bag and I actually did some prints. I actually ended up having to flip this inside out because I ran out of room to do some prints. But we got another set of problems that happened with this one. Same thing, we got really light on some of these details and stuff like that, just not being very consistent at all. We actually had some bleed through from the print on the other side that happened. Some messiness here. Just not doing what I wanted to do, and even switched up the ink that I bought, and tried a different ink that was not screen printing ink but more supposed to be fabric ink, and that was this test. And we tried like standing on it, putting a lot more pressure and weight on it, and it still won't transfer the design very well. So an idea to help with the border thing, try making it a little thinner design or some sort so it doesn't need as much ink needing to transfer it. Well, that's the kicker, right? It shouldn't matter. It should be able to transfer that ink regardless of what's going on. It theoretically should. Like we got some, even on our print here and stuff like that, it was inconsistent across. Like that one was pretty good across here, and then we got inconsistencies down here. We're just 8 away, but that one was okay, and then inconsistency there. So I think there was an old block that I had that I used for it, so it might have been damaged. Might not have been in very good shape anymore. So, but regardless of that, sometimes we would get really good elements of it, sometimes we get really bad elements of it. I think this one as far as like the border stuff, we definitely got that honed in. Like that looks really good. We don't have as many of those degradations and stuff like that happening here. Like definitely really good, solid. Like that would be fine, but then we lost all of the detail on the inside, and it wasn't holding the ink either. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know how much more we can do to get this to print the way I want it to print. I want pretty well done prints in certain ways. So I was like, well, the other option that I have here is since I have the screen printing ink, and I have a screen printing kit, like, okay, so if I put together a screen and do some screen printing, what will that give me better results? And so luckily I had an old design that I had done on my old screens. I was like, let me do a couple prints with that and see how that goes. So this is on the other side of that one, and you can see much better. We got a little bit of tear out here, but that's always happens with the first one. So the second print, solid. Like that's full color all the way to the edges. The design is completely transferred. Like that's what we're looking for. Now this was all, when I made this screen, I did this all by hand. So if it looks a little crummy on those edges and stuff like that, that's me hand painting in on the screen to get it to look like this. So that's my final result on this, being like, okay, so if I get a couple new screens for my screen printing kit and do the photo emulsion style printing and stuff like that, we should be able to get good quality solid black prints out of that using that method, which will be much better. So that's our update for our bags that we had done. It was a worthy experiment, especially since I had some of the materials already on hand. It didn't cost me too much to try out that block printing and see if it would work. I'd seen like lots of printing and stuff done online, and the block that I had might not have been the best one for that type, but it's what I had at the time, and I was like, well, worth a shot, spend some time, see if it can be conditioned and used and worked out and stuff like that. And unfortunately it just did not roll, so, which is fine. So we're going to pivot. We're going to try and see if we can get the screen printing part of this to work, and then salvage the rest of the bags that we have here and see if we can get that going. So more experimentation, more artwork, more methods coming up here in the near future to see if we can get this to continue to work out. So, but in any case, worst case scenario with that one, I have a decent block now to print on paper with. So even if I get some nicer actual printmaking paper and stuff like that and make some prints out of that hand carved block that I did, that's a possibility as well. So then people can buy essentially a paper print of that as well. So nothing is lost in any of this process. Just sometimes we have to shift and go different directions. It's just the way it works sometimes. So yeah, thought I would update everybody, show you what I had gotten done, kind of I want a better quality, somewhere in between like manufactured printing and hand printing. Like I want something in between. I don't want too many defects in it that it looks like I just like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at all. But I can't afford to do like buying a bunch of the Printify bags that I have on my shop and then trying to sell those for like $30 or something like that. Like that would be way too much in that respect, but and have those printed. So like trying to figure out what that medium place is in between, get it going. So the problem is I want cool things, but I'm trying to figure out how to do a lot of them by myself or by hand, so I don't have to pay for too much of the manufacturing stuff done. Most of it done out of country in a lot of ways, and then shipping and stuff like that. So that's where the cost gets eaten up a lot. But that's what's going on. Let's see. Back to our video stuff that we're working on here. Thank you, Alex, for that suggestion. Yeah, it's always like printmaking is one of those art forms that when all of the conditions are perfect, it works wonderfully. When there's one thing off somewhere in the process, it's kind of a dick to figure out which one is the problem, and make it, and then be able to adjust to make it all work out correctly. So, but so when we first started that process of carving that block, I was like, I think I gave out the warning, like, this is the idea that we have for this. This is what I would like to be able to do with it. The inherent problem with what I'm trying to do is that the detail that I want for my block print is very thin. It's not that you can't get, high detail, thin prints out of a block and stuff like that. It's just that putting that onto fabric material is a little harder to do because it's not a smooth, consistent surface in a lot of ways, especially with something that is super fine detail like I was trying to do. So that's where the kicker came in, and where the possible failure point was going to, that I had seen was going to happen, is it just was going to be blurry or not want to print those fine details very well, or like smudge and blur and do all kinds of funky dory things. And we ended up I think the block was just old that I had used, so it just wasn't going to do what I wanted it to do, unfortunately. So, but that's okay. We learned something. We still have something we can use it for different things. It just has to be more of a print on paper rather than print on material usage, which is fine. And now we have to swap and transition and figure out a slightly different way to do this. So which is cool. Hopefully, I'll have to see. I got the kit ordered yesterday for the screen printing. I will have to figure out. That process is slightly a little bit more messy than what we had done on the stream when I was trying to do those couple prints live for everybody. So I don't know if I'll be able to. I could set it up in the garage. It would be funky to stream from the garage, because the computer would be in the house, but I could set up the cameras and microphone and stuff like that in the garage so that I can do stuff out there, but I wouldn't be able to see very much or make many adjustments without having to run in the house and make adjustments. We'll see. We'll see. I'll figure it out. Something. But, all right. Back to our video. Do I want to make some changes? Do I want to make some changes here? Let's see. Let's bring this down. Okay, so I can change out. Backgrounds would be good to change out. I can also. Oh, they changed the menus over here. Ooh. Upscale. Magic edit, you have to pay for magic layers. Background remover, yeah. Those you have to pay. Image to video? What? Background generator. So these must be AI based. Let's, you know what? Generate 5-second video. Custom? Oh. Let's see what this does. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Thank you, Sunny, for banning that person. Appreciate it. And for giving your points to Patch for his challenge. Let's see, we are at 72%. Perfect. I did update the time because we only have like 5 days left to go from like 64% onwards. So I was like, I'll give us some more time. So we're at 73. Oh, 78% raised. Look at that. Look at that big old jump. Finally, all those points that you guys have been putting in finally hitting the challenge this time. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's interesting. Have you guys seen that over on the left-hand side? Interesting, interesting. Well, now I'm fascinated by that idea. Let's go, before we come back and start working on this, I found new toys. Let's put generate 5 seconds of video. Let's try this one where he actually has his hands on the body this time and see what it does. I think it was weird that it took the whiskers and threw them all over the place. That was definitely weird. Working hard, making all those pixels move. Oh my goodness. You've hit your plan's monthly AI limit. It'll reset on April 30th. Wow, that is doing a lot of things, and I don't like that at all. Like, it's interesting. Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, that's interesting. It didn't keep the clear background. That is broken in so many ways. It definitely took a lot of the elements that are in the image and used them for stuff. So this is interesting. This is an interesting experiment to have gone through and done. This shows me that if I took the character and threw it into either Blender or After Effects, or there's a couple other ones where you can do basically bend morph animations like this with that, some of that stuff would actually work. Basically what this does to me is it proves a proof of concept which I had in my head, that I could do some of these motions and animations like this with the characters. See, like that simple bend and shift right there, not the hand, get rid of that stupid hand that pops up, can be done. And it's not like the waving thing. That one bothers me that they came up with that, but the blinking, smooth blinking thing, that's not too bad. It is garbage, but very interesting. Yeah, like I said, proves a interesting proof of concept that I had, that tells me that the features and stuff that I have built onto this character can be manipulated in certain ways to give it more animated motion, which is cool. That is disturbing as hell, but it's cool. Okay, back to what we were doing. I like my simple animations better. Okay, so do I want to change up how some of this looks? Am I okay with this? Because we are going from around 14, where's 13? 13's there. We're going from this to this. I have an idea. Where is, but those two things together, group those, animate this. Only on enter. Okay, so if I shorten this, that make it happen faster? Yes, it will. Sweet. duplicate that. Right there. Okay, let's get rid of remove animation. That's wrong again. Okay, I don't like when it doesn't line up perfectly. Okay, let's do this. There we go. That should do it. Okay, cool. Put this there. Okay, so we should have very fast. Hey, thank you, Sunny, for cheering with one bit. Appreciate that. I did some work to get some of the animation, like the cheers and bits and things like that, moved around so that they work better. 2 bits, $1. Yeah, how much is 1 bit? Oh, dang, I messed it up. Is it 1 bit is... How much is 1 bit? Do I even know? It was 3 bits, then $1. Yeah, because 300 bits is $3. 100 bits is $1.40, but I don't know what that translates over into. One bit has to be like a fraction of that, right? I would assume. Let's look. How much money do you make off of bits on Twitch? Let's see how it says. Streamers earn 0.01 USD for every 1 bit. Yes. Meaning 100 bits is a $1. There you go. So essentially, you would have to spend $1.40, and $1 of that goes to the streamer, and 40 cents of it goes back to Twitch. I think that's why people are always not necessarily pushing for bits in that way, but compared to like ad revenue or anything else like that, that's where like the 60-40 split goes the opposite direction. It's more for the streamer in that respect. I've tried to think of different ways that I could use part of that to help, like, because I don't I always talk about maybe having like donation things set up for the stream, but it always feels weird to me, so then I just don't do it. So, I don't know. Okay, so we got that. Wait, our hands disappeared. They're on the wrong side of the box. Where is the hands? Ah, yes. Because I have two sets of boxes here. Here we go. Got it figured out. I still think I want to do... So I've got all of this time in between. I might want to do... So let's duplicate this up. Line it up so that it works fine there. Let's go ahead and crop this down. Let's move this down here. Then move that there. We'll have to cut. Once we get this animated, we'll see what we can do here. Let's make that steady. Too much. We want it. Is that faster? That's faster. That's slower. Okay, so we have to really make this slow. We don't want to pulse it. We can do the wiggle. I don't think I like the wiggle though. Delete path. Could do that. That's not too horrible. Yeah, let's bring this all the way down to there. Don't care much for the... Let's start that there. Okay, so then let's duplicate this again. That back there. Get rid of that hand. Position. Those should be fine at the moment. We'll end up having to move them. Let's just move them now. Put those there. There we go. Now they're on top of each other. So that's our wiggle hand. So this one needs to go back to there. There you go. Yeah, not great, but it could do in a pinch if I needed it to. Let's go back to animate. Yeah, these are one of the ones that are predetermined. Yeah, see, I can do the intensity and stuff like that if I had the pro version, but we're not gonna worry about that because we ain't got it. Okay, let's go steady, maybe smooth. No, what's steady? Made his hands flip in all directions. That's funny. I've tried to do something like this before, and it kind of works, kind of doesn't work, and you just have to be really, really, like, careful kind of with it. Oops, I went outside of his body. That's what I don't want. Let's go steady. So his hand disappears there. Like, it's alright. It's not great, but it's alright. Maybe if I bring his hand... Delete path. Move this. Let's bring this down here. Let's put this underneath the box. Okay, cool. Let's have him bring it up. Steady. It's alright. It's alright. It's gonna be a little bit janky because of what I'm using to make it. Gonna be a little bit janky. Okay, okay. Not bad, not bad. I can speed it up a little bit. Problem is I need his hand to go then back down. That would be the kicker. I go up, do the wave, and then back down. Steady. You know what? That might be my best one yet. You know, I'm not gonna lie. That's not bad. That ain't bad. It ain't great. But for the free program that I'm using here and doing it by hand, it's not bad. It's not awful. The only one that I mess up on is that one, where it goes a little bit outside of his body. That wasn't horrible. Let's go steady. Nope, I went outside again. Dang. Right there. That one's hard. Lead path. I think I went outside again. No, it's not bad. Not bad. I might be able to live with that one. Not too bad, not too bad. Question is, I bring that back. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay, so let's do... I think I'm okay with that stuff. Let's go into a burst here of some sort. Let's see what animated stuff we have. You can generate a graphic? So last time we had the button behind him doing stuff. Well, let's put this way down here. Let's also bring that there. Let's fade it out there. Let's go ahead and animate that. Not the burst I want. Not the burst I want. Ooh, yeah, not bad, not bad. Let's go ahead and... Let's go up to 70. Let's make this some type of green. Yeah, here we go, here we go. Enter. Let's see. Layers. Yeah, that one should be down here at the bottom. I'm gonna put that there. Let's get rid of those here. Let's animate fade on both. Not bad. Not bad. Might have to play with the color a little bit more. Definitely don't want to do a rise on that one. Kind of what I was thinking. Kind of. Oh. Don't want to pan. No, don't want the pop. Don't want the wipe. The blur is not too bad. Baseline, no. Breathe. Nope. Don't know what that one does. Neon will give you a stroke. Scrapbook. Stomp. I don't know about the flicker. Oh, man, if that was a big circle, that would be kind of cool. The wiggle is going to suck, but... interesting. Let's see if there's anything better. I was kind of hoping for like a gradient burst. I might have to type that in and see if it comes up with anything. Gonna give me what I want. Gradient burst. See if it comes up with anything. Nah. This is the other one I liked. I could probably make something similar to this in After Effects. I was desperately trying to use something like this. You're getting close to your plan's monthly AI limit. I thank you. Haven't used any more besides those two, which were funny. I'm well aware. Thank you, app. Appreciate it. Nope. Not gonna do what I wanted to do. Get rid of that. Don't like that. Animate. See what that looks like. It's all right. It ain't wonderful, but it's all right. Oops. Needs something back there. I just don't know what it is yet. That's a little extreme. I need a design of some sort. Don't think I want to do any of this. I already have the background which has the squares in it. Let's see what the animated ones look like. Ooh, that one's fun. I wish I had more time to do a bunch more like animation stuff in After Effects and then port it in here for some of the stuff. But I do not. That would take me a couple weeks to do. Nope. No. That's what I'm looking for, but that's not the right colors. the idea, but the wrong thing. Almost has to be reversed some ways. Can't do it. So that's an interesting thing about even Canva is that if you find like this was a rectangle with that gray thing going across there, you could technically use it and recrop it and use what you want with it, but it's hard to get it to be exactly what you want. But it can be done because you can recrop most things. Even if you find like a piece of something and you want to recrop it and use part of it, you can. Hey, thank you, Bryce, for putting in your points for our assistant there. He keeps switching up his spots where... Oh, why did I not... I guess I wasn't paying attention. We're an ad break. Map. Uh-oh. Let's say I might have broken it. I did break it. That's not good. Okay, I fixed it for a second. That was my bad. I was paying attention to it and then I wasn't paying attention to it. But you know what I didn't do today? That I realized may be happening right now is you guys are hearing the audio from the music coming through on my microphone too. What a day. Didn't realize I'd fucked up a bunch of stuff today. Okay, is that better? Does the music not coming through now through the microphone? Or was it not bad beforehand? I guess the question is, did we notice it all? Am I just going to continue to keep botching these these episodes because I got maybe I've gone too far. I could wait. You could hear it or you could not. Wait. I could hear it. You don't think you could hear it? Don't think. Okay. Ooh, that might be a good sign then. If I don't have to wear a headset in my ear the whole time. I'll have to think about that now. Too bad I can't change the color of that. Kind of like the little dots too, but that's not what we're doing. Yeah, I want to do. I want to put something. Oh, I deleted something on accident. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, I want something back there, I think. Problem is, if I change, can I change him? I can change him. That's consistent right now, but I just have to change his size. Okay, so now I gotta figure out where that they move everything. Shadows. Ah, they gave it its own little. Uh-oh, what did they do? Interesting. What the heck did that do? Why did it pixelate that? Why is it better now? What the heck is happening here? If I do this, do that, do that, and then move this. I think it's broken. Oh, wait, now, wait, what? I think it's broken. I don't think it's working correctly. What the? Okay, let's get out of there. Okay, now it's fixed, but that was weird. Okay, yeah, I don't mind that. really need to do is give him white paws. Till there. Till there, or something like that. Line. Wait, I had it set at 50. Let's get rid of that for now, the background thing. Edits, outline, white, 50. Let's see. Can we? No, that wasn't better. Down, so we should actually make this shorter. Okay, yeah. Let's make it just a hair bit longer, but not much. There we go. Almost wonder if I should flop they make the stitches go out early. Maybe those should go last. Yeah, maybe that was a problem. It's a little fast there at the end, but that's okay. Super fast. I think I can live with it, but Yeah, I can live with that. I think we're on the right track. Let's see, that would be... More bots. Let's delete, ban. Another set of hands up here, this one. I didn't think about this when I was starting this, which now I'm realizing I should have. I should have put both characters on there. I should animate both characters in the box on this front screen is what I should do. Damn it. Okay. Well, that's okay. We can do the things. So the question is, can we do them all at the same time? Do. Oh, it's not gonna let me do it. No. Oh no. Oh, that sucks. I was gonna scale him. But it's not gonna let me scale the things together. Ah, that sucks. What if I put them all together? Nope. Maybe if I group them together, I could do that. Let's group them together. Scale it down. And then ungroup them? Set them all together. I mean, it's one way to do it. It's not a fancy way to do it, but figure out which ones go behind everything. So whatever one that one is, that one has to go behind there. I'm gonna have to redo the animation because his hand goes out past his body again. Damn it. But we got the rest of it moved around. I might get rid of the waving animation. I think it might be, if we're gonna add the other character in, that it might be a little bit too much. Which means we can put this back. Don't think those scaled correctly. So do I need... Don't think I need those ones. Created more problems for myself. That's okay. Why I didn't think of this earlier. Might have to do... Ungroup. Get rid of that. Get rid of this one, y'all, and then that. Sometimes when you're working on stuff like this, you have to take apart what you just did in order to redo the thing, or figure out whether or not you want to redo the thing that you want to do. Yeah, I don't think I want that white on there. That's fine. Sweet. Okay, so we've got him here. We need him to go there. We need that one to go there. We want to animate the baseline. Let's stagger him just a bad. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let me pick the one I want to pick. I want to move. Ah! I want this one to move, but I want it to be just a little bit of movement, not a lot. There we go. I don't think I saved. So the way I normally do is I save out each of their a base body that I can use for things like buttons here, and then arms. And I haven't saved out the arms by themselves or a base body for patch yet, so I need to do that. Do I have Illustrator open? I do have Illustrator open. Hopefully this does not crash things on OBS. We're going to try it out and see what happens. Okay, so we want this one. We want to get rid of the arms. I think I want to move where are his eyes looking? Okay, better. Export as. So now we just need to do just arms. Export as. Patch arms. Export. Cool. Let's get rid of that. Let's see, where is that one? Oh, it's there. base body. Base body, arms. Okay, cool. Organize now. Now what we need to do is we need to select this. It's not going to want to behave. Okay, so we take him. Put him at the top. We drag this one. There we go. Then we swap them out. Alright, so we should be able to take, let's put these, put those, let's put this back down here. Nope, let's put him in front. Okay, so I think okay, so we got that right. So we just need to get the adverse flip hands going here, which last time I did this, duplicated it, opened it up in preview, flopped it twice. That was fine. This way we can get them to go the right direction when they come up off the bottom of the screen. Okay, so that should be okay. Go ahead and animate that. We want to do a baseline only on the enter. Position. We want it to be here. Then we want to drop these down here. There we go. Let's go ahead and duplicate that. Patch them up. Put that one down with that one. We're going to move it to the end sequence. And then we're going to tell it to animate both, but we're going to tell it reverse direction and then go back to on the exit. There we go. Oops, forgot the character goes in the wrong direction. That also has to do the same thing. Reverse direction. Okay, cool. Check this out real quick. Yeah, it would be nice to have something happening slightly in the background. Okay, cool. We've gotten there. I've got...
That's what we're working on, like production, really. Help, you know what I'm saying? We been, that's from the time our last album, that's what we've been doing all this time period, working on our beats, production, working on our.
Let's see. I can like make them look at each other in between here. Yeah, that might be a smart move. Dang it. Which is fine. I need that. That. Where's our nose at? Nose. Where you at, nose? There you are, nose. What was the one behind? Good thing. Is it gonna look weird if they... Looks weird right now. Are you guys going to make them pull out flamethrowers and fight off xenomorphs? Or is that too subtle? Yeah, it's a little subtle. A little subtle there. This is what I was just doing. Trying to see if I can get... I don't want to go too crazy on animating too much. Like, I don't... Like, it'll be fine for this first segment because this will be the new opening for the social media posts for the next, 6 months or whatever I decide for it. But like, I don't want to hand myself into doing too much. There's a lot of work to do. It's a lot. Get this. Okay. Put this here. Oh, that's funny because it has the animation on it still. Remove animation. I don't need that. Okay, so then the next thing would be to open up buttons. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Okay, cool. No crash so far. Let's get rid of that one. Put that one on. We don't need hands. Okay, let's take the ellipse. Let's do what we did on the last one. Take that ellipse, put it in there. Then we can do this. Actually, no, that doesn't matter. That one. That one. This ellipse. This ellipse. Something like that. Export as be looking right. Maybe a high five? A high five would be cool too. That may be for future. Remember, I got more books to come, so we have plenty of time to play with so many more things for sure. So I need, there he is. I need that one open. Then I can put that there. We couldn't upload these files. This folder has almost reached the limit of 200 items. You can upload 0 or fewer items or remove the items from the folder. Oh, interesting. I did not know there was a limit on things you could put in these folders. I still have plenty of room. See, any of this stuff can be re-uploaded, which is fine. Technically don't need any of this stuff at the bottom down here anymore. technically don't need any of this stuff down here. Okay, let's try that again. Hey, there it goes. Now it's happy. Okay, good to know. You can only have 200. By the way, did you see Badlands yet? Like the crossover with the Alien and Predator universes? Gotcha. Yes. Yes. We're not going that crazy. Duplicate that there. Do that. This down here. No, what is... Did you see Badlands yet? Oh, is that the one that you were talking to us about that Dreamer and I should go check out? Still move. Got the wrong mouth on him. That. Move the trash. Let's take this and put it back at the top. Maybe I have a very shit memory. It was the newest Predator and it was amazing. Oh, okay. No, I did not. I keep seeing clips of it online and I've never been a super fan of... yeah, Aliens or Predator. Like, I know of them. I've seen stuff from them. I watched the original Predator movies when they came out with Arnold and Samuel L. Jackson and stuff like that. I didn't follow the plots with them. I know that there's a huge fandom behind them, but I never went much past that. Like, it never... I don't know, they just never struck with me. Never struck a chord. I'm also more mechanical inclined, so... With who? You mean Danny Glover? I'm thinking of Die Hard, I think is what I'm thinking of. I get my Die Hard and my Predator swapped up. Maybe I'm thinking he was in Jurassic Park too. He was a computer programmer. I just remember people smoking a lot in the 90s, and that's my that's my vision of all of that happened. Like, oh, a character was smoking. I remember that character. Like, dude, they smoked in every movie. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh man, I love Die Hard 2 though. The trilogy was great. And then they ruined it with the newer ones. Yeah, it seems to be that way. Haha, right? Clouds of smoke around old PC in a very dark room. Yes. Yeah, poor dude got eaten and then all that was left was his arm. That was a rough one. That one was rough. Wait, did I do it wrong again? Oh, maybe I didn't swap them out. Ha. I didn't swap them out. That's what I did wrong. Okay. brief little hey, and then look at each other, hey. Back out our audience. Okay, so we're gonna shorten those by a bunch. Timing makes or break a thing. Look at each other, look back out, and get out of there. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's better. His best death was from one of the worst movies ever, Deep Blue Sea. Oh, really? How did he die in that one? Okay, so that's the question. How did he die in that one? And then second question is, what is the best death scene that you've seen in a movie? I still think the one that comes to my mind first and foremost is that last one in Demolition Man where he freezes him. He freezes from toe to head and then kicks him and shatters him all into those little pieces. Like, I love that one. I love the Terminator ones too, but for some reason that one just always pops in my head. Him swinging around, kicking, what's his name in the, I had just had the character's name too. Oh, Phoenix, kicking Phoenix in the head and just ka-chow, just everything going everywhere. That is such a hard question. Yeah, I know it is. Yeah, he was giving a rousing speech and a shark pops up and eats him out of nowhere. Nice. Nice. It would be better if it was one of those speeches like, well, we're gonna get the shark and he's not gonna exist anymore. And that'd be a good one. There were a lot of like, and those, I think that's what it was, is during that era, those 90 movies and stuff like that, there was a lot of like campy hero death scenes and stuff like that happened. I was thinking of even like Judge Dredd and stuff like that. That one has a good couple good ones in that one. There's just a lot of, I think maybe that's where it is. I wasn't as far into like the gore and the scary ones, scary movies and stuff like that. But it's probably why like Predator and stuff like that didn't really, even though they didn't like show too much. But I was also watching them on TV, so they were probably edited. I don't know. That's the problem, is that part of my memory is conditioned on cable network television. And for anybody who doesn't know, when they would broadcast a movie on cable, they would cut out like all of the good parts, or all of the parts that they thought were not PG worthy in a lot of ways. So you would see this movie and be like, oh, that's really cool. And somebody would be like, oh, did you see the scene where they're like, no, that scene doesn't exist. And they're like, oh, you must have watched it on cable because they had to cut that from it. And then you go back and watch the movie and you're like, holy shit, this changes a lot of things because of this gruesome, gory, or whatever the heck it was thing that was happening that you just totally missed because they had to cut it for TV, whether it be for time to fit in the time slot that they needed for TV, or they cut it for being too gruesome or something like that, or whatever arbitrary rule that they wanted to have. But no, like some of those old 90s campy death scenes were really fun. I like those ones. All right, I think we got a good setup here. up, look at each other, look back, disappear out. We still need something. Still need something for the background. I could technically pull this over. No, I don't want to. Wouldn't be the worst idea. It might have been the worst idea. Never mind. Yep, that was not the idea I wanted. Did not work. I mean, if we are going for dramatic deaths, that means a lot. It's Boromir in Fellowship. Yeah. Coolest is Arnold in T2. Funniest, probably Sam Jackson in Deep. Yeah. The big sword guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yes, where he just turns and shoots him. That one's great. Oh, but you know, the melting face scene in Indiana Jones 2. That's a good one as well. Yeah, the coolest is the Arnold one where he dips himself in the liquid metal, or the not liquid metal, but the I was gonna say lava, but that's not lava. It's Jesus Christ, superheated metal. I don't even know. Anytime a Nazi dies is a good death, but face melting in Raiders is pretty great, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, the stop motion stuff that they did for that was so cool. Man, it sucks that we only have like 2 minutes into our last break here. Speaking of stop motion, I saw yesterday there was a YouTube channel that got dinged for on their channel. They got I don't know if they got restricted or kicked out of their account or whatever it was. I don't know the terminology for it, but they do stop motion animation on their channel, and they got a ding saying that that their stuff looked too much like AI and that it was doing XYZ. And they're like, we literally are doing stop motion animation. Like, you can't get any more hands-on than making 1 frame or 1 second of frame, or the smallest movements of, to make seconds of film and It was like, it was a wild one. We live in a wild time. I think about where we came from in these 90s movies and to this point now. Even the little playing that I did earlier in the stream. So they actually offer, we tried it over here, but I just grabbed one of the characters and I can't remember where it was. Oh, it was in the edit. They had a thing, this one, image to video. And I'd said I had enough credits, give or take, or whatever it was, to try this feature, and it did some wacky stuff to it that it was weird. It was definitely weird, but interesting. Let's switch over to our assistant cam, see if our assistant's still up there. Oh, he is. Cool. But like we're in our break. Oh, it didn't do the timer. Uh-oh, something's broken. Ooh, fun. What did we lose here? Okay, there we go. We got it back. We're down to 230. There we go. That was weird. It was interesting because it had confirmed some of the things that I understood about the character that I had designed here, even playing with it on Canva and stuff like that. That even stuff that I talked about last time, where I can bend and manipulate and do things with the character and give it like animation type qualities or feelings and stuff like that, even with the illustrations. And it did certain things that I wouldn't have wanted it to do with its little AI thing, but at the same time, it helped confirm that I have more range to use my characters in ways that I had thought could be possible, but didn't until like it actually did the things. I was like, oh, I can actually do that. It kind of helped confirm some of the stuff that I had already like thought of. So it was interesting. By no means was it good. Like it looked like dog poo-poos, but it was interesting experiment. I learned some things from it. Will I use it? No. But did I learn something from it? Yes. I hate YouTube. My friend got her whole account banned because she sent out emails to some of her collaborators that used a template and they flagged her for AI. She tried to get the ban overturned and literally could not get up with a human person. It was all AI agents. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's everywhere now. It's quite interesting to see some of that stuff happening. I'm starting to run into it in the book sphere a little bit more. Like 3 years ago when I first published book number 1, I ran into an issue. I was able to get a hold of a customer service agent. They were able to help me do all that stuff. None of that exists now. Like they make you very specifically go through their chat bot, and then you can put in a request to talk to an agent or have your whatever the issue is moved up to somebody to look over it. But so like this year I ran into an issue with my delivery for my sample books. Like they usually say it could take anywhere from 10 to something days to get out of their shop and print it and going into shipment, right? And I hadn't gotten any information from them about that, and it had passed that amount of time. So I went through their AI bot. They was not helpful. I said, went through the thing and say, hey, elevate this to, somebody that can let me know what's going on. Because I just have a basic question about if there was an issue with the printing or if I did something wrong or blah, blah, blah. So in the meantime, we'll wait a few more days and then I get a confirmation that the books have shipped. So I'm like, cool. That must mean that they had fixed it or whatever, they found it or yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, they must have solved it, whatever my email said or yada, yada, yada. So like 2 weeks later, I get an email from Ingram saying, hey, we just want to let you know we looked over your thing that you sent in and looks like your delivery has already been delivered and we're going to go ahead and close this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh man, that's not good. It took you guys 2 weeks past the date that actually then was delivered to me to get me a response. So like it was, since when I put in the ticket for it, it was almost, I think it was like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks that it took them to respond to me. And in that time, my order had already been delivered. Like that was like, ooh, this is not working as y'all want it to in any way, shape, or form. So it's just too bad. It's I think the hard part about it is it's not helpful at all. And I get it. We're moving away from having, agents and stuff to be able to do a lot of that stuff. But at the same time, there are a lot of people that still want to be able to talk to a real person to get things straightened out, which I don't blame them. There are certain times and certain problems that you definitely need to talk to somebody. Like, that's just the way it works. Because the automated systems are just not good. Even before AI, they were not good. Dial 3 to go to, but that's not the place I needed to go to. Well, that's the only place that we're going to tell you to dial to. And maybe they'll send you to where, and then you get rerouted 16 times and still not end up where you need to be. So none of those systems are good. Just hire the people to get you people where they need to. The chatbots are so worthless too. If your problem doesn't meet a certain criteria, they will not escalate shit to a real person. It's miserable using online customer service these days. Yeah. The only reason companies don't want real people just because it saves on overhead. It's all about money and giving people top of it. Yeah, no, that's the way that all works. Yeah, I get that. It's just hard because I was talking to Dreamer about this the other day, and when we were out doing our little walk around our neighborhood, and I was like, there are a certain amount of people like myself, able-bodied people that would love to be able to do small remedial jobs of some sort, whether it is walking around my neighborhood and cleaning up our walking trail and cutting back some of the bushes or something like that. And, simple things that we could take care of by hand that would help serve our community and, provide a job and stuff like that. There's certain place for that, but it's such a small, easy, not very, I don't know, not glamorous, but it's one of those jobs at the bottom of the totem pole that if you have 100 people making $1 a day and you get rid of all 100 of them, you just saved $100. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But then at the same time, then you end up with the shitification of stuff where shit becomes overgrown, and it's a problem that suffocates itself at some point. And a lot of companies at the top, they don't recognize that. They just see the bottom line stuff being like, how do we save, $100,000? Well, we could cut it out of, XYZ. And it's just like, yeah, let's just do that. I can't remember which company it was, but they did that, and literally, like, they came, like, the head CEO or whatever came in the next day and be like, why is nothing working? Why is nobody's? And they're like, well, because you fired all those people. It's just like, you guys needed to cut. We'll get them back here. It's just like, no, they're not coming back for any reason. Like, you got rid of them. It's not the way this works. It just sucks, is what it is. I always tell Dreamer, I'm like, we could have nice things, and there are a certain percentage of people that take advantage of systems, whether they're on the lower end of the socioeconomical system or on the higher end of the socioeconomical system. Like, there are people that take advantage of the system on both ends. And it sucks because when those things happen, much like the stuff that my son goes through with school and everything else like that, when somebody fucks it up, they fuck it up for everybody. And that's where it sucks. Because then they have to punish everybody and not just the people that were doing the bad things. There was a thread on Reddit a while back ago, people getting fired that basically kept up the code servers accepted for companies that got fired to save money, and the company ended up losing more money when they would have to cost to keep them up. Yes. Oh, but there were several of them where somebody had built like a custom piece of code that was was it a custom piece of code or something like that? Yeah, and everything fell apart. Like when they left, either they took the piece of the code with them, or it was very specific to them having to do certain pieces of it to make it keep it running, and nobody knew that that's what that was doing. And then it all just imploded on itself, and like the company would try to sue, and then that wouldn't work out. And then, yeah, it was, oh yeah, those IT people write code for shit like that all the time. And when they get fired, they take it with them. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like their jobs, and kudos to all of the IT people and stuff out there. Their jobs is to band-aid and make things work across an entire system and stuff like that. And those are not like permanent fixes. Sometimes they can be, but most of them are manually maintainable, like band-aids that they have to keep going back and double checking until a permanent solution can be put together for it. So we're talking about a lot of different systems and stuff that can get broken, and it's just, yeah, like I said, it's hard because, like I said, we could have nice things, but people choose not to. That's hard. It's poopy. It's poopy. So, I've ranted and raved for an extra 12 minutes today on stream, which is okay. I like that. I like being passionate about the things, because there's a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of, even in the book and publishing sphere, there's a lot of stuff that happened even over in Sacramento. They had a really awesome book festival over there. I know there was another one in LA, which was not as good from people's understanding. So, like, you just don't know. You don't know what. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? Not unsure. It's not unstable. I mean, it is both of those words, but you just don't know. Don't know right now. There's no guarantees on anything. I feel like there were more guarantees in the years prior, especially back in the day. But yeah, a lot of uncertainty. That's the word I'm looking for. Uncertainty is a huge piece of everything right now. So I know for me, it definitely gets me bogged down a lot. So I definitely have to work through it and try my best. And luckily, having the stream and getting on and pushing myself to do all kinds of different cool new stuff all the time is important, and it helps. So yeah, just gonna have to roll with the punches at the moment. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming by today. Got a little stretch out of patch there real quick. Good cat. So I'm gonna go ahead and say thank you to B-Shack for putting their points in. Thank you Dreamer for coming by. Thank you Mr. Alex for stopping by. Thank you Sunny for dropping by. Thank you Bryce. Who else? Ooh, that person never got banned. Banned that one. Oh no, it did. Who else came by? Anybody else? Nope, that's all. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming by and hanging out and watching my craziness as I try to figure out all my things as we're rolling forward towards our book 3 release coming up here in July. So hopefully stay tuned, because this week's social media post is going to be our actual release day for the book. So that's why we were redoing a bunch of this here, and then our actual post for the release day will be out here in the middle somewhere. But yeah, cool. Thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Don't do anything too crazy. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.